I'm guessing that this is working. What's up, everybody? What's up, nerds? Welcome to a live HeyArcher. I don't think it's really HeyArcher YouTube 101 video. Thanks for being here. If you guys are new, don't forget like, comment, and subscribe. I'm actually going to check to make sure that this is working because I've never actually done a live YouTube before. But hope you guys are all doing well out there in the space of the virus and all that's happening. If you guys can hear me all right, just let me know in the comments because it looks like it's working online. But dope. So I haven't done a HeyArcher or a YouTube 101 in quite a while. It's been a couple weeks. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Dad. I haven't done a YouTube 101 in a while, and so many of you are at home now actually making your own content, which is dope. Some of you are doing it on Facebook, Instagram, or you're even just doing like kind of Zoom conference calls or FaceTimes with friends and kind of doing your own thing, which is great. And I think that if you're on quarantine, why not just be creative and actually do something with your time? So I figured I would walk you guys through putting your own content online. If there's any specific questions you had, I can answer that. I said in the Instagram post, in the Twitter posts, etc., that I would talk about streaming. And this is actually my first streaming video I've ever done. So I may not be able to answer questions on how to do streaming video games, like if you're trying to be a Twitch streamer or something like that. Somebody could really message on there if he wants the messages. If not, definitely check out his content. Is Faith in the Glitch. He does a lot of live DJing on Twitch, so that'd be more up his alley than my own. So if you get a chance, check out Faith in the Glitch on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. But the one thing I know a lot of people generally are not sure of is what I don't have, or the question might be, do I have the right content or do I have the right material to make content, the products, the gear, if you would. So shameless plug on this. If you want a full gear list of what I use in my descriptions on these videos, you'll find that list there to all my Amazon links. But if you're watching this video, I guarantee you, well, unless you're watching it on your TV, I guarantee you have something in front of you can use to make content. And it's very easy. Making content nowadays, compared to even when I started doing YouTube videos, even I don't know, 5 years ago now, it's so much easier, especially because the camera quality on even your cheapest phone is super cheap. So making content's easy. It's really what you got to get past is the lazy factor of it, if it's what you want to do, of course. The where it gets tricky is when you start getting to the point of wanting to put content on different platforms. And it's still easy, but the tricky part is setting everything up to do so. So it's one of those where you definitely want to set yourself up for success is probably the best way to do it. And at times it can be time consuming, just setting things up. But once you get the initials done, it's pretty much, it takes care of itself. So the first one I'll talk about, of course, is YouTube. Now, YouTube actually allows you, when you first start off, to record straight to YouTube. So it's something that is talked about a lot in the cosplay community, is not aiming too high, because if you aim too high, you can potentially set yourself up for failure. So one of the things that I will always say is try to reach an attainable goal first and then start building on it. So recording videos from your phone straight to YouTube is probably the easiest thing you can do, the fastest way to start making content. And these videos, benefits of being live. These videos that you put on YouTube, they'll exist as is on your channel that you create, and you can edit down the videos actually in YouTube Studio if you wanted. You can also on YouTube make playlists, add the hashtags to it. So you can kind of, if you just want to just make a video, make whatever, and just throw it out there, you can just dump it straight on YouTube just by hitting the record function in YouTube, and your videos are good to go. Now, if you want to start editing videos, and you don't want to just do just a straight kind of like this, where it's almost like a live video, that's where you can, of course, record on your phone, record on your computer, and then edit it. Now, before I even continue, for all of you who are now watching, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and hit the bell down below to get notified when new videos come out. And again, shameless plug, down in the description, I have links to all my Amazon links for the gear that I use. But also, if you want to help the channel out, just by clicking on any of the links and going to Amazon and doing your normal shopping or clicking around helps the channel, because I'm an Amazon affiliate. I can do a video on that later on. So assuming that you've clicked the like button, we'll continue. If you want to start editing your own videos, that's where you're going to want to record on your phone, record on your computer, and then depending on what computer you have, you can either do GarageBand, which is free, or sorry, actually, I'll get to GarageBand. You can use iMovie on your Mac or even iPad, or you can use Windows Movie Maker, which is also free with any PC. Not sure if you'll get that if you're using a Chromebook or anything like that. Actually, I just realized I don't have both my lights on. Just give me a second. Bam, learning progress. So if you want to start editing, Movie Maker and Windows and iMovie are free, easy to use. All you're going to do, just record your whatever video it is. If there's multiple videos, you can kind of just record all of them. You just dump them in there, and both apps respectively will just make one video for you. The only reason I would say to use those is if you want to edit, like I said, like let's say there's parts where you're talking and like just a little while ago I just belched. You know, you can chop the movie and chop those segments out to make one cohesive video. The other good thing about using Windows Movie Maker and iMovie is, let's say you want to do a channel that's mainly like trailer reactions, or you do require like a picture-in-picture. Let's say you actually want to record a video with a friend and have it as a conversation on online. With those two apps, you can actually do a picture-in-picture feature. So you could layer one movie over the other, because they give you generally two timelines. Just to break that part down, the timeline is where you put your video, and each video has two timelines attached to it, the video and the audio. You can then have a second video timeline. Of course, that would have its own audio as well. And you can have those two run together, and you can, through the app or the software, actually make a picture-in-picture. So both iMovie and Movie Maker are great for that. You can do picture-in-picture. You can have both audios playing at the same time. With iMovie, there's something that's called I think it's like Phantom Sync, where sometimes if you're trying to do a movie, thanks, see you later. If you're trying to play a movie or paste audio to video, sometimes they will get out of sync because those apps are not great for keeping time for whatever reason. So there's tricks to make sure that start to end, the mouth moving matches the audio if they're two different files, if that makes sense. So like I said, they're great. Both iMovie and Movie Maker are great for basic editing, chopping up your videos, and of course doing picture-in-picture for trailer reactions, or for just doing a standard conversation with somebody else. Now, when you go those routes, that is not going to necessarily be a live stream. That's going to be a video that you've already pre-recorded, and then you're going to upload it later. Doing live streaming is a little bit different. Now, if you start getting consistent with doing your videos, whether it's just straight to YouTube, whether it's just straight to movie makers and iMovies and then moving them over, that's where you can say, all right, maybe I'll invest in either Premiere or some sort of equivalent. I'm not that good with the other programs. Premiere is the only one I'm using at the moment, which I'm still very novice at. But what's great about Premiere is you can actually sync the audio and video much easier. It's like a 2-second, just simple click if they're separate. But also you can have multiple video timelines. You're not limited to just 2, the way that you are on iMovie or on Movie Maker. And I might be speaking out of turn on Movie Maker because it's been a little while since I've used Movie Maker. But last time I used it, it was only 2 timelines. So comment down below if you use Movie Maker and if you can actually have more than 1 timeline in that. So once you get more advanced, yes, then maybe consider Premiere Pro for that. The learning curve on Premiere Pro is a little steeper than the other 2. iMovie and Movie Maker are pretty easy. Like, it's just super simple to make them. So if you're just starting off, that might be the best route to go. And I didn't even think about actually sharing that I'm doing this online. Why don't I do that? Silly me. Part of just part of doing YouTube is learning as you go. That's funny. That's me on the screen over there. Learning as you go. That's funny. That's me on the screen over there. Learning as you go. That's funny. That's me. Hang on. All right. All right. Pretty sure you guys can still hear me on there. I guess just let me know in the comments if you can hear me, of course. So once you start, making the content, that part's easy. You just, you're making your movies, you're posting your movies, or your videos, or whatever they may be. The next step is going to be, what if you want to do, and actually, I'll say there's a 1A and 1B option. So you could say to yourself, I want to go straight for YouTube and start doing that content first. Or maybe you want to do audio first. So my suggestion is actually to do both at the same time. But let's say you're not comfortable just having your face online or doing that process or whatnot. Recording your video and then moving it into a podcast format is actually very, very easy. A lot of people think it takes a lot of work to make a podcast. In a way, it can, depending on how in-depth your podcast is, or the video quality of it, the audio quality of it. But the same steps I gave you guys to making a video and putting it on YouTube is the exact same steps for doing a audio-only podcast, except you just extract the video. So again, shameless plug before I continue. For all of you new watchers here, make sure you click down below on the like button, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're digging this content, and down in the description, I have links for all of the products that I use to make my content. They're all Amazon links. They're not shady links, of course. So if you want to make a audio-only podcast, easiest way to do that is record yourself on video. The reason I suggest that is on the off chance you decide I actually do want to upload video as well, you already have it. But you can record a video and then you can go into either GarageBand, or I think you can do that in Movie Maker as well. Actually, you can do that in iMovie too. You can go into those apps and then you can actually edit as you want and then extract the video portion. Once you do that, one, the file size is a lot smaller, but two, exporting out of those apps is much faster. So what up, Mike? So if you're trying to just crank out content as fast as you can, sometimes audio only might be the best way to do it, because smaller files, faster extraction, and you can put it online easier. So doing a podcast that is meant to be on all the podcast apps, it takes some time to get it going, and by take some time, I mean more than a day. But by no means is it a excruciating project. What you need to do in order to do a audio podcast is have a company host your podcast. So what does that mean? YouTube is a host for video content and actually music as well. But that's what they do. You upload your content to YouTube, and then YouTube itself is the platform people go to in order to watch your videos. Same concept for audio podcasts, except you would have the different apps, right? iTunes, Spotify, etc. Sorry. Again, benefits of rolling live. I'm just doing all my normal stuff, except I'm not editing it out. So when you go on, so once you're at the point where, all right, you've recorded it, you've extracted the audio, now you have an audio only file. Now it's time to put it somewhere so that iTunes can find it, Spotify can find it, etc. The easiest website I found, and again, shameless plug, I'll have my link down below if you want to use it, is called Buzzsprout. Now, Buzzsprout is a host for podcasting. And what they allow you to do is you take the audio file that you've extracted, again, from GarageBand, Movie Maker, or whatever, and you dump it there. You put your hashtags, you label it, description, just like you do on YouTube. But now, iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, all of them, they can tie into Buzzsprout and take your podcast for you and distribute it for you. So by podcasting, and it's funny because podcasting actually in audio only gets you to more viewers and more listeners than YouTube does, because YouTube, everything's just concentrated on YouTube. But imagine if you would, I guess the best way to put it is, imagine if there was a social media platform. Actually, Instagram does that. Now that I think about it, Instagram allows you to tie in Facebook, which now owns Instagram. Instagram allows you to tie in Facebook, Twitter, and there's something else I'm forgetting. But when you make a post and you hit share, it automatically goes to the other apps. So you don't have to go to each app and do the same post. Buzzsprout does the same concept, but for your audio podcast. So once you put the file in Buzzsprout, Buzzsprout actually walks you through registering your podcast on all the platforms, Spotify, iTunes, etc. Now, a website like Buzzsprout, and I suggest you do this when you're starting off, unless you just, if you want to go all in, by all means. But Buzzsprout, starting off, does have a free tier. Now, actually, I'm going to pull up Buzzsprout so I can make sure I'm giving you guys the right amounts here. All right. So again, if you have any questions so far, comment down below. If you're watching this after the fact, hit me up, heyarcher1@gmail.com, or on social media, or just comment on this video and I'll see it. So when you dump your audio file in Buzzsprout, it's free to do that up to 2 hours worth of content. Now, when you're starting off, that actually should be enough. If you're making content that you're just you're dipping your toe in the water, 2 hours worth of content audibly a month is probably enough, I would say. If you start going over that, that's all on you. But I think 2 hours is good. Once you put the file there, Buzzsprout helps you register with all the other apps. And once you hit publish, once those other apps acknowledge your podcast, that's it. It's done. Every single time you post on Buzzsprout, it automatically goes everywhere else. And that's why I feel that if you're going to start somewhere and put up your all into something, podcasting actually might be the one you want to make sure you get down first, because you're grabbing listeners that use iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, all of them, Stitcher, and you'll get to more people that way. YouTube, while very popular, it's still just one platform, and not everybody uses YouTube exclusively. Like I use it exclusively for the most part, but not everybody does. So if you can get Buzzsprout working, and if you can get the audio only podcast working, you're good. Everything else kind of will fall into place. Now, if you do get consistent and you do want to make more content, Buzzsprout does allow you to pay for larger storage on their site. And they actually do it, again, based on time and per month. So for example, up to 2 hours a month, you can use it for free. Easy. If you upgrade to the 4 hours a month, that's $12 a month for that. You can then bump up to 8 hours of content a month, and that's $18 a month. So just to be transparent with you guys, I currently use the 8 hours a month, mainly because of you, Anthony, and you, Aaron, because we ramble for so long. 4 hours was not cutting it as far as my upload time. So I currently have the 8 hour tier. And what's great about when you pay for Buzzsprout is it also allows you to view the stats. Which apps are people using the most to listen to your content? Are they finding your content through searches? Are they finding it through links that you're posting? That kind of thing. So as you're growing your content, learning where people are watching you the most is super helpful. And you want to pay attention to that kind of thing. Here's where I'll be a hypocrite, though. And I'm still trying to figure this out. So again, if you guys are enjoying this content, I just touched my face, and isn't that like against the rules now? I'm not allowed to do that. I get arrested for that. If you're enjoying this, again, so far, make sure you hit the thumbs up down below, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, welcome if you're new here. And of course, I want to hear and see your questions and comments down below. Again, I'm doing this today because I'm loving the fact that everybody at home now is creating their own content. So this is mainly just an overview. Some of it I'm going a little bit deeper than a 101, if you would, but I just kind of want to let you guys know all the different avenues you can take. So if you decide you want to start investing in it, that's where you start paying for Buzzsprout. That's where you start little by little buying gear to make it easier for you to actually make the content. The last thing I kind of wanted to do, just saw a funny text there. The last thing I wanted to do was talk about how should you make videos with your friends and post that. And I kind of touched on it before, but there's another way to do it too. Now, at the end of the day, you can still use iMovie and you can still use Movie Maker to do videos where you could see, like there's the ones where like, my picture's here and then like you'll see like my friends everywhere like that. There's a couple different apps that do that. Like Streamlabs, I believe, is the best one to my knowledge if you wanted to do it in a live stream format like you're watching now. But currently for me, I don't enjoy live streaming as much because the video quality isn't there. Like right now, this video quality you're seeing is not the same that you're used to with my normal videos. So that's where I want to record everything, but after the fact, kind of add in people. Now, to make it easier on you, if you want, you can actually use Zoom for that. Now, if you happen to be a random listener who's had Zoom stock for some odd reason before the apocalypse, enjoy the millions of dollars you probably have at this moment. But Zoom is great because what it allows you to do is anybody you want to be on your show, you can give them a link. They tie into that link, and now you'll see their picture, up to the side or whatnot. But you can actually, wait, no, that's not true. Everybody can tie into the video, and you can make it so that every time somebody talks, the video feed cuts to them, and now you see them on there. Now, the way that I use Zoom is, let's say I'm doing a video with Aaron, or the last video I just did with Joshua from Nerds and Hip Hop. What I did was I made the Zoom invite. He calls in, and now I'm talking to him looking at the screen the way I'm looking at you. But what's great about Zoom is it actually allows you to record the conversation, both the audio and the video, as separate. Actually, it'll do a video and audio file, and then it makes an audio only, all completely for free. And you can actually click on the person, hit the pin button, and no matter who's talking, you can have it locked on their face. This is a great option for if, let's say, when I did the video with Josh, you would see his face, right? And then it would jump off, and you'd see his face, and then it jumps off to me. If you go back to a video I did with Aaron, actually, I can't remember which video that was. I did a video with Aaron. Make sure you check out Aaron Waller on YouTube. And you saw his face kind of stuck here. The way I did that was I pinned in Zoom so that no matter who was talking, it only recorded him video-wise, but it had my audio. Then I took that video, went into iMovie or in your case, Movie Maker, if that's what you're using, and I did a picture-in-picture and just took that video and just put it to the side, and then used my video for my camera so that you saw us both at the same time. It takes all of an extra 5 minutes to do it that way, but it makes it so much easier, especially when you're editing, because you can have their face, your face, and you wouldn't have the back and forth of me, then him, then me, then him, that kind of thing. I had to do that with the video with Josh because I forgot to pin his face on there. So that was a user error. But Zoom is great for that, and Zoom is free. So if you want to do the videos with your friends, Zoom is a great option because free, it records the audio for you, and it records the video and audio as a separate file, so you can use it that way. Now, Zoom does have a paid option. So I was using Zoom originally when I didn't have this computer. And if you don't have access to a computer with a video camera, Zoom Mobile is a great way to do it. Now, Zoom Mobile is free, but if somebody in that party does not have a computer and can record on their computer through the Zoom app, you'll have to use the recording function on Zoom Mobile. And that is not free. That you got to pay for. I think it was like $8 a month or $12 a month, somewhere in there that I was paying for it when I was using it. So great option if you're on the go. Great option if you don't have access to a computer or you don't have access to a computer with a camera. Zoom Mobile, you record it all. It's on their cloud. The audio is on their cloud, and then you extract it when you're ready. So great option on the go. Great option if you don't have a computer. So if you do want to start investing, that's where you can start, buying those kinds of apps if you want to. Again, the only ones I really talked about that you pay for today are Buzzsprout, Zoom, and then Premiere Pro. But if you are just starting out and you're to pay for just one, Buzzsprout's going to be the way to go because YouTube is free, and to my knowledge, are always going to be free. YouTube is free to upload content. Buzzsprout is not free, but it allows you to publish your content everywhere on all audio podcast platforms. But there's a free version as long as you keep it under 2 hours. So I think I covered all the options there, pretty much a lot of the 101 type content there. I didn't go into the gear or anything like that. There's a video for that. I'll try to link that down below to show you what I'm using to make my content. If you go to HeyArcher.com, I actually have a gear list, not a shameless plug necessarily, but I have a separate gear list for what you can use if you're just starting and keep it under, I think, $150. Most important two things, I believe, because I'm already assuming you have a phone or something to record on, the microphone and the adapter to plug a microphone into your actual phone. If you don't have that, just use a standard mic on your headphones or a mic on a wired headphone or something like that. But if you do want to up the audio quality, you're going to want a dynamic microphone. I have links for that below, but links for that on HeyArcher.com. Again, if you want to help the channel out, Click those links, even if you don't buy anything. But leave a thumbs up down below if you haven't already. But of course, subscribe, because what are you doing here if you're not even subscribed to this content? Anyway, it's been 30 minutes. I think I covered a lot. If you have any questions, again, leave comments down below. Hit me up on social media, HeyArcher on everything. And I'm not saying that what's happening in the world now is a good thing, but what I'm enjoying about this, if we're to find some sort of light in this darkness, if we're going to label it something, is that a lot of people are starting to become creative. And there are a lot of people who originally wouldn't, they're like, I'm making music or drawing or any of that stuff. I want to do it, but I don't have time. And now, because people are trapped at home, the creative bugs are coming out. And as a creative, I love it when other people are creators and want to make content and do things. So, keep your 6 feet, but keep on making that content, because you can meet people, you can interact with people, make new friends. Even just on this, doing that interview with Josh, Aaron Waller, again, follow his channel. I've never met him in person, but we do videos probably on a monthly basis, and doing things digitally like this, but creating, it can bring people together. Mike knows that because we talk to each other mostly digital. So I think that's about it for today. If you guys actually like this, I will do more of these, maybe bi-weekly. If I have time, I'll do it once a week. And maybe we can do it on other topics if that's what you want. But, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit those links down below. Check out HeyArcher.com. I'll try to do some pictures this week because it's been a little bit rainy. So my promise to myself this year was once a week, take some photographs outside. So don't know if my camera's waterproof. I'll have to figure that out. But thanks for being here. Thank you, all you nerds. Happy creating. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace. Is it over yet? I don't think it's over. I'll hit end. It should probably be over right about